Mahoning Valley's Hidden History is sponsored by Youngstown East High School. Mahoning Valley's Hidden History is sponsored by Boardman Nissan. Now, a 27 First News special presentation, The Valley's Hidden History.
I'm Chelsea Spears. Welcome to the Valley's Hidden History. Over the next 30 minutes, we're going to be sharing stories on how African Americans made a difference in our valley and how some are passing traditions on to the next generation. We begin now with the story of a man who grew up in Youngstown. He came to lead the legal fight for civil rights before becoming a respected federal judge. We're talking about Nathaniel Jones. He passed away last month in Cincinnati. First News senior reporter Jerry Ricciuti talked with two local judges about the man who they called a role model and a mentor.
U.S. District Judge Benita Pearson grew up knowing of Nathaniel Jones's reputation as a law school student and aspiring young attorney. But the first time she ever met him face-to-face was when she interviewed for her job on the federal bench.
And by the way, his questions during that interview were the most intimidating I received, but they were also the most illuminating I received.
Judge Pearson agreed to this rare interview to talk about her mentor and friend. She says the judge leaves a legacy of inspiration for lawyers and judges alike.
But especially those of us of color. He was a role model. He was someone to emulate.
Jones was born in 1926 in Youngstown and grew up in Smoky Hollow. After graduating from what was then Youngstown College, he became the first African-American ever named an assistant U.S. attorney for this part of Ohio before taking over as general counsel for the NAACP, a position where he directed all litigation the organization took on.
To confront that which is offensive and that which harms people.
Judge Jones was appointed to the 6th Circuit Court of Appeals in Cincinnati in 1979, retiring as senior judge in 2002.
He was a great, stately, impressive, accomplished jurist.
Mahoning County Judge Scott Kirschbaum had known Jones the last 40 years, back to his days as a bailiff in the 70s.
If he walked in the room, he had a presence about him that captivated everybody in the room.
In 2003, Youngstown's new bankruptcy court was opened, bearing his name. The now retired judge's voice filled with emotion.
Thanks to my mother and father, from whom I first learned the art of coping in the face of adversity.
Judge Pearson tells me while she'll miss his laughter and his insights, she knows Nathaniel Jones will never be that far away.
He's where he needs to be. He's in my head and he's in my heart.
Jerry Ricciuti, WKBN 27 First News.
Now, Ohio Governor Mike DeWine recently unveiled new markers along the Ohio Turnpike. They tell the history of the Underground Railroad and its path throughout Ohio. This marker is close by in Portage County, the one we're showing you here. The Underground Railroad was a system of safe places. It helped shelter and feed slaves as they fled to freedom. Sites all across Ohio were part of that path. These markers will greet visitors at 4 different turnpike rest areas. A number of local communities help get slaves to freedom. For the past 10 years, the Salem Historical Society has been offering Underground Railroad trolley tours. This year is the first time they're doing it in the winter. 27 First News reporter Vince Call takes us there.
From history, we learn things we've done well and things we've done poorly, and that we want to avoid making the same mistakes over again.
Ginger Grilly is the lead tour guide and president of the Salem Historical Society. She led the Underground Railroad Escape to Freedom tour through town. This year, thanks to a new trolley, the tours are offered year-round. That comes with an advantage.
We decided we would offer this tour in the winter because you actually get a better view of some of the houses when the trees are not in bloom.
The tour looks at 14 buildings in Salem, all with ties to the Underground Railroad or abolition movement. The most famous is a building known as Unserheim, home of Daniel Hal Heiss, one of the primary conductors of Underground Railroad activities in Northeast Ohio.
You'll read in the literature many people coming and going from his home, and he was involved in conversations and supervising the work of the volunteers.
Among other facts, riders learned Sojourner Truth lived in Salem for 2 years, plus a major newspaper, the Anti-Slavery Bugle, was printed in Salem and sent across the country.
There's no absolute numbers for the number of people who escaped during that time period, and it ranges anywhere from 10,000 to hundreds of thousands of people. And the truth probably lies somewhere in between.
In Salem, Vince Cowell, WKBN 27 First News.
A visual aspect of Black history in the Valley is dance. We'll show you a group teaching and showcasing the art of Harambee. Also, the artistic ways Youngstown City Schools are trying to teach students about Black history. The Valley's hidden history continues after this.
Toyota wants you to get connected with a new car, truck, or SUV. Connect with style, with technology, with performance. Connect with $500 bonus cash on RAV4. Use it to lease an adventurous new 2020 RAV4 for just $219 a month. Or get $1,500 total APR cash when you finance through Toyota Financial Services. With a 2-year no-cost maintenance plan included. Get connected with your Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places.
Pause up, Golden Bear Nation. East High is putting our students first all year long with student programs that extend beyond the classroom. Youngstown East is proudly celebrating Black history all month long and beyond. From civil rights leaders and sports heroes to inventors and artists, join us in honoring the many important and amazing contributions of the African American community to our nation. Let us learn and connect together. Become a part of our growing story. Join the Golden Bear destination at East High School.
The $88 down sale is back at Dianes Chevrolet. Right now, $88 down buys any vehicle on the lot. Buy this Cavalier for just $88 a month, or this 07 Silverado for only $188 per month. And check out this certified Chevy Cruze for $288 per month. We're easy to find and hard to beat, just west of the Eastwood Mall on 422 in Warren, or online at DianeSauerChevy.com.
The road to savings begins this way. Dianes Sauer Chevrolet.
We're getting hyped for the Roaring 20s, and you should be too. The New Chance program is growing by the year, so it's a new year, and we got a new team over at Boardman Nissan. Our team is here working hard to get you the vehicle that you deserve.
Start 2020 off on the right foot and begin building your credit today.
Help us help you cruise into the decade in a safe, reliable vehicle.
So give our team a call at 1-800-NEW-CHANCE and make 2020 the best year yet.
Call 1-800-NEW-CHANCE today.
You're watching a 27 First News special presentation, The Valley's Hidden History.
We celebrate Black History Month in different ways. At the Tyler History Center earlier this month, it was Selma and civil rights. The main library had a program on Negro spirituals. At East High School, this year's Black History Month program focused on the arts. First News anchor Stan Boney shows us what they sang and read.
The tribute to Black artists on Thursday, February 6 began with the East High Choir and I Know Where I've Been from Hairspray, which segued into Glory from the movie Selma.
We will cry out, oh, glory, glory.
The performers were students in the Visual and Performing Arts program at East and Cheney High Schools.
Somewhere in a dream we had an epiphany. Now we right the wrongs in history.
And were under the direction of Tracy Schuler-Vivo.
You're going to see a lot of really poignant pieces celebrating the different influential and important voices throughout history.
So you're going to see some Nina Simone, some Ella Fitzgerald. You're going to see just a lot of great and talented students today performing.
I am in the VPA intensive track for dance. I'm in advanced dance too. I took the track last year as a junior, and now I'm in it as a senior now.
But a bird that stalks down his narrow cage can seldom see through his bars of rage.
Donovan Gillison read from Maya Angelou's I Know Where the Caged Bird Sings, along with other readings. The set background included quotes from Motown's Marvin Gaye and the Bill Withers song lyric to Lean on Me When You're Not Strong. The East High Jazz Band played 3 numbers, including Duke Ellington's Sea Jam Blues. As Dynasty Gordon sang a Sam Cooke hit from 1964,
A change is gonna
2 students, including Nakia McCrae, danced to the music. And as Natalia McCrae promised, there would be some Nina Simone.
It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life.
Though it's Tracy Schuler-Vivo who organizes the show, she does it with the help of the teachers.
This year, I left a little more open-ended. Some years we focus in on the civil rights movement or perhaps the Harlem Renaissance. This year it's a little bit more open, and the teachers are able to dive in and decide on what their content would be, and then they reach out to me and they let me know, and I ask them how it correlates, of course, with our overarching theme. And I take a look at that, and then I do put it all together.
The world won't get no better, and if we just let it be.
Oh, it was a wonderful performance. The students really performed very well.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for all of our visual and performing arts students here at East High. Woo!
At Youngstown's East High School, Stan Boney, WKBN 27 First News.
Some incredible talent there. Now, a historical handshake will soon be on display for all who visit Youngstown to see. We'll tell you the reason a new statue is in the works. We're also showing you a group in the Valley keeping the art of African dance alive. Stay tuned. The Valley's hidden history continues after this.
VickyDoeFitness.com is an interactive health wellness platform created to discuss, teach, promote, and implement healthy living. Subscribe to our podcast. It's all about health and fitness to learn about living a sustainable and healthy life. Subscribe to our community newsletter and receive updates about our online weight loss boot camp masterclass. Sign up today. VickyDoeFitness.com. Step by step to a better you.
It's February, and here at Boardman Nissan, we know you're gonna love our new incentives. Show yourself some love and feel safe on the winter roads with a 2020 Nissan Altima S featuring all-wheel drive for only $237 a month. Or ride to date night in a 2020 Nissan Rogue S with all-wheel drive for the low price of $252 a month. Don't swipe left on these deals. Located on Market Street in Boardman, fall in love with your next vehicle at Boardman Nissan, your local family-owned dealer.
Pause up, Golden Bear Nation. East High is putting our students first all year long with student programs that extend beyond the classroom. Youngstown East is proudly celebrating Black History all month long and beyond. From civil rights leaders and sports heroes to inventors and artists, join us in honoring the many important and amazing contributions of the African American community to our nation. Let us learn and connect together. Become a part of our growing story. Join the Golden Bear destination at East High School.
Toyota has elevated the expectations of what an SUV can be, and the experts have taken notice. Introducing the all-new Highlander, aggressively styled with a powerful V6 inside an all-new premium interior, more cargo space, available 12.3-inch touchscreen, and connectivity for all your devices. With Toyota's most advanced safety features as standard equipment. Now, when you finance a new Highlander, you'll get $750 APR cash from Toyota Financial Services. Go better. Go Highlander. Toyota. Let's go places.
You're watching a 27 First News special presentation, The Valley's Hidden History.
The Harambee Youth Organization is dancing and drumming their way around Youngstown for Black History Month. 27 First News reporter Brianna Ray Turner looked into the history of African dancing. She's sharing the importance behind it all.
The Harambee Youth Organization has been around since 1980.
African people trying to reclaim that past that was stolen, that was taken away.
It all started with a few college students wanting to start a youth group in the community. One of those college students was Lynette Kamako Miller, a Youngstown native who brought her love for dance to the Valley.
40 years ago, yes, and we have continued to do this and sustained it for all of this time.
The group has nearly 200 dancers and drummers. Most of Harambee's dancing comes from West Africa, and there's a message behind every movement.
Our dances are for everything. We have celebratory dances. We have dances to celebrate our children. We have dances to celebrate womanhood. We have wedding dances. We have funeral dances.
I talked with YSU Director of Africana Studies, Patrick Spearman, about the significance behind African dancing.
When Africans were brought here and stolen and brought here to these shores, things were taken from them. Their culture, their background, their history, everything that made them unique and African, all that was taken away from them.
Spearman says African dancing was one way for Africans to reclaim their identity.
I see that African dance as a means to connect back to that African past that was lost, that past that was stolen, that past that in many ways was taken from us deliberately, trying to connect back to that thing that we've lost.
It is representing our ancestors, representing our heritage, our culture, instilling pride and self-esteem in our youth.
Miller says organizations like Harambee are important for children because it gives them a way to express themselves in anything they put their mind to.
I'm such a quiet person, and just being around everyone brought a lot of me out.
Deja Johnson has been a Harambee dancer for 4 years, and with having a passion for dancing, African dancing has her heart because it's unique.
African dancing, you gotta bring a lot of more energy than regular hip-hop or jazz and stuff like that.
But with the energy comes with the drummer, who plays a very important role during performances.
They dance to us. So like if we fall off a beat or we do something wrong, then it hits them.
Christopher Jones is a Harambee drummer who has been in the organization for as long as he can remember. But what he learned through being a part of Harambee is that you work together like a family.
That's why it's Harambee. We all pull together. Like it takes two like sound and a dance to make Harambee.
If you would like to attend one of Harambee's performances, you can find the link to their Facebook page on our website at WKBN.com.
I just want to say we need Black History Month. We need to celebrate our history, celebrate our heritage, celebrate our culture, and we need to do that 365 days out of the year.
And Youngstown, Brianna Ray Turner, WKBN 27 First News.
Toyota wants you to get connected with a new car, truck, or SUV. Connect with style, with technology, with legendary performance. Connect with, well, connectivity. Get connected with $1,000 customer cash on a rugged new 2020 Tacoma, or a low-mileage lease for just $219 a month, or get $2,000 customer cash on the full-size Tundra with a 2-year no-cost maintenance plan included. Get connected with your Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places.
Pause up, Golden Bear Nation. East High is putting our students first all year long with student programs that extend beyond the classroom. Youngstown East is proudly celebrating Black History all month long and beyond. From civil rights leaders and sports heroes to inventors and artists, join us in honoring the many important and amazing contributions of the African American community to our nation. Let us learn and connect together. Become a part of our growing story. Join the Golden Bear destination at East High School.
We're getting hyped for the Roaring 20s, and you should be too. The New Chance program is growing by the year. So it's a new year, and we got a new team over at Boardman Nissan. Our team is here working hard to get you the vehicle that you deserve.
Start 2020 off on the right foot and begin building your credit today.
Help us help you cruise into the decade in a safe, reliable vehicle.
So give our team a call at 1-800-NEW-CHANCE and make 2020 the best year yet.
Call 1-800-NEW-CHANCE today.
Get a great deal now on used cars at myvalleycars.com. Go to myvalleycars.com to see great deals on local used cars.
You're watching a 27 First News special presentation, The Valley's Hidden History.
On D-Day, June 6, 1944, a Black Army medic saved hundreds of lives on Normandy's Omaha Beach. His name was Corporal Waverly Woodson, Jr. He died in 2005. There's now an effort in Congress to posthumously award Woodson the nation's highest award for heroism. Our Washington correspondent, Morgan Wright, explains.
He says many of them were frightened beyond speech. Joanne Woodson, the widow of Corporal Waverly Woodson Jr., reads the words of her late husband's personal eyewitness account of D-Day.
Dawn broke as our ship approached the battleships and heavy cruisers that were firing broadside at the coast of France.
Corporal Woodson landed on Omaha Beach on June 6, 1944. As a Black Army medic, he was wounded himself when a blast destroyed his boat.
This D-Day, Army prejudices took a back seat as far as the soldiers helping one another was concerned. However, afterwards, it was an altogether different story. Even to this day, the black soldiers were never given credit for their outstanding services beyond the call of duty.
Although injured, Corporal Woodson set up a medical aid station, and for 30 hours he removed bullets, cleaned wounds, and saved lives.
He didn't talk about the war. A lot of the guys wanted to forget.
The stories of what happened on the beach that day were unknown to Joanne Woodson for years after the war, until the 50th anniversary of the war, and Corporal Woodson opened up and shared his harrowing story. Despite recommendations of his commanding officers, Corporal Woodson never received the Medal of Honor for his heroic actions. In 1973, his military records were destroyed by a fire, making official recognition even harder. But Maryland Senator Chris Van Hollen says that shouldn't matter.
Given the contemporaneous records of his heroism that were talked about in, multiple newspapers at the time, we believe he merits this important honor.
Senator Van Hollen and the Congressional Black Caucus wrote a letter to the acting Secretary of the Army requesting a formal review to posthumously award the Medal of Honor.
He earned this medal, and this nation really needs to honor him in this way.
It shouldn't take this long.
Corporal Woodson did receive the Bronze Star and Purple Heart for his wartime efforts. Senator Van Hollen says he won't give up on ensuring Corporal Woodson receives the country's highest military honor.
He served his country with incredible courage and bravery. There's enough information out there to demonstrate that he earned this medal.
Van Hollen and Joanne Woodson hold on to hope that her husband and other African Americans' heroism during World War II will one day be properly recognized. In Washington, Morgan Wright.
Now, a spot near the new Youngstown Amphitheater will soon be home to a statue marking an historic handshake. That story when Hidden History continues.
It's February, and here at Boardman Nissan, we know you're going to love our new incentives. Show yourself some love and feel safe on the winter roads with a 2020 Nissan Altima S featuring all-wheel drive for only $237 a month. Or ride to date night in a 2020 Nissan Rogue S with all-wheel drive for the low price of $252 a month. Don't swipe left on these deals. Located on Market Street in Boardman, fall in love with your next vehicle at Boardman Nissan, your local family-owned dealer.
We don't want to put ourselves on a pedestal. But we're going to put you up on that pedestal so you can give the runway a whole new meaning.
Everybody knows someone at risk of substance abuse. It affects our communities, our family, our friends, and sometimes it hits even closer to home. But it doesn't have to. There is hope. We can help. At the Trumbull County Mental Health and Recovery Board, we're standing strong and offering help to our community through education, prevention, treatment, and mental health services. Visit us online and help us stop substance abuse, because we're stronger when we stand together.
First, they said cigarettes were safe. We know how that turned out. Now, they say they didn't market e-cigarettes to teens. Fact, more than 1 in 4 high school students are vaping, and 80% say their first e-cigarette was flavored. Vaping is harmful to developing brains. The reason we think vaping is safe? Marketing. Same lies, different day. Tell Big Vape to quit lying.
Don't miss the American Cancer Society's annual Cattle Barons Ball, presented by Mercy Health. A night of denim and diamonds, Saturday, April 4th at the Lake Club. Call or click for tickets and help us finish the fight against cancer.
You're watching a 27 First News special presentation, The Valley's Hidden History.
April 18th, 1946. In his very first game as a mainstream professional baseball player, Jackie Robinson hit a home run. Youngstown's own George Shotgun Shuba shook his hand, and years later, what you see here, this gesture, it would prove to be symbolic in the effort to better race relations in the United States. First News anchor Stan Boney looked into the plan to make the handshake of the century into a statue for downtown Youngstown.
I just think a lot of people get to see it. I don't know.
It's here in a grassy area where Goulas would like to see a nearly 7-foot-tall statue of the handshake of the century.
I only wish George was around to see it. Because if he was, he'd say, they're doing this for me? He's that humble.
I didn't realize that it was that special, you know.
George Shotgun Shuba grew up in Youngstown and went on to play for the Brooklyn Dodgers. While being honored at a 2006 Youngstown State game, Shuba talked about the handshake.
I sort of thought it was something big because we had 25,000 people there, and there must have been about 10 cameramen waiting for Jackie to cross home plate.
But from 10 cameramen, only 2 pictures survived. This one shows Robinson touching home plate, Shuba shaking his hand. The other was taken just a second before, with Robinson off the ground, and again, the handshake. It was the first handshake of a black and white player on a professional baseball field.
George grew up on the west side of Youngstown at Cheney High School, played with black people. I mean, there were blacks and whites playing together. It was nothing for them. What do you do when you hit a home run? The guy on deck shakes your hand. It was a normal thing to do.
The committee formed to build the statue has commissioned sculptor Mark Mellon to do the work. He already has a prototype of what it'll look like. Youngstown Mayor Tito Brown says it's a great idea.
I think it's an opportunity for us to preserve history and for Youngstown to be a part of that history, and right downtown Youngstown for people to come and get a chance to look at that. I think it's a great opportunity for us as a city.
The statue will cost $400,000 and the fundraising has started. The plan is to dedicate it on April 18th, 2021, the 75th anniversary of the handshake of the century. Stan Boney, WKBN 27 First News.
And fundraising already started. So far, more than $120,000 is in place towards that $400,000 goal. It was a lesson in learning by doing for classmates at one school in Youngstown. Earlier this month, students and staff with Summit Academy staged what they hope will be their first annual Peace March through the neighborhood. It was meant to observe Black History Month. The kids carried signs and banners they made themselves. First grade teacher Jonathan Armstrong came up with the idea after realizing many younger students had no concept of Black history. He thinks this walk can help the students connect lessons in school to their history. If you'd like to see one of our stories from tonight again, just visit WKBN.com. You can click on Hidden History under the Community tab. For WKBN 27 First News, I'm Chelsea Spears. Thanks for joining us.